Hello, this is AstrologerCoach Sonja Francis, and today we're going to be talking about the upcoming new moon in 19 degrees of Capricorn, which will be exact on January 9th at 8:31 p.m. East Coast time in the US, which is also New York time, and 5:31 p.m. Pacific time, which is also LA time. Now, this is the first new moon of 2016, so this starts a new moon cycle, of course. But because it's the first new moon of the year, this is a great time for us to set some intentions for 2016. And the best way to set intentions is to go within and to seed something that kind of like that we're feeling in tune with, that we would like to accomplish for this year or for especially for the next 28 days for this lunar cycle. I will also mention the best and most potent times to set these new moon intentions towards the end of the video, so stay tuned. But first we want to talk about Capricorn. What is Capricorn all about? What is this new moon all about? So that we can align our intentions with the new moon energy as it is. So the highest vibration of Capricorn is the development of responsibility, resourcefulness, reliability, and self-mastery. It's very much about becoming good at something, becoming the authority of something that we're working hard at and that we're really developing sort of like a strength in from the inside out. And so it's also about the ability to set realistic goals and have healthy boundaries in life. That's all of that is Capricorn. So for the next 28 days, it's really the perfect time for us to work on developing maturity and common sense. It's really also about making commitments in terms of like something long-term goals, but also recognizing our responsibilities within that. And it is very much a good idea to focus on setting and achieving practical and attainable long-term goals. So Capricorn always wants us to go back to what is what is so right now, what's attainable, what's practical, what's realistic, all those things are very important. Capricorn is a feminine energy and it's a slow-moving energy. It really wants us to take it one step at a time, because it doesn't want us to miss anything. So it's not about rushing towards our goals. It's about really going after them step by step to make solid, sound decisions that help us build something long-term that's solid and has like a really good base so it can last for a long time. Now, Capricorn also is very much about understanding obstacles, or better yet to say, understanding that obstacles are a part of life and that they help us become more capable and create an inner strength inside of us. So inner strength and self-reliance, you could say, is like a result of mostly dealing with adversity or obstacles in our lives. And so Capricorn knows this and really understands that we need these things to really build some inner strength and build some inner authority. Obstacles are also sometimes signs and symbols for us to take a look at where we have sort of like become out of alignment with reality or with what's truthful for us. From an internal place. So what is in alignment with our inner truth? So when we experience roadblocks, for example, in our lives, it's really important to kind of take a look at what is this obstacle trying to communicate to me? Where are the obstacles in my life and what are they trying to say to me, and how can I get back on track by looking more closely at what is in alignment with me. What am I really trying to accomplish long term here, and what does that mean for me in the here and now? Because Capricorn is very much focused on the here and now, because the here and now is what creates our future. This is where we have the say over what we're building and what we're creating. So the present time is very important for Capricorn. Now let's talk a little bit about the lower vibrations of Capricorn, because I think that's also important to take a look at to see how we can handle that and so we can move more fully into the higher vibrations once we recognize what the lower vibrations are. Now, the lower vibrations of Capricorn usually is connected to domination. Very often, because Capricorn wants to be in a position of authority, if we're not fully developing this authority from the inside out, if we're not fully connected to that inner strength inside of us, we tend to want to dominate other people or situations or places. So there's a flavor of control there. There's a flavor of attachment there. So this could show up either by wanting to win at any cost and just kind of like elbowing our way through to the top, in a sense, right? But it could also show up in the opposite way, which is that we give away our power or our authority to somebody else or to something else, out of fear that we would dominate other people and that we don't want to be dominating other people. So we give away that responsibility to other people. Let them do it, not us, And so sometimes we end up actually by giving away our power, we end up being dominated by other people or by life or by society or by, whatever that is, right? So questions you can ask yourself with the Capricorn energies: where have I been looking for approval or permission in the outside world or from other people or from society, or where do I need to set and honor realistic goals? And emphasis here being on realistic, because very often we have goals and we set goals, but they're not necessarily aligned either with ourselves or they're not realistic at all, in the very least. Even if we think they're in alignment with ourselves, they're just too grand or too out there that it's impossible for us to even, get to these goals. So definitely, ask yourself, where do I need to set and honor realistic goals? Now, let me talk a little bit about a couple of aspects that are connected to this new moon, which I think are very important to mention. The new moon aligns with Pluto in Capricorn and squares Uranus in Aries. So this is very much, again, another message of, us needing to really step up in our lives, in the world. It's an invitation for us to have a healthier relationship to power and to the things that we build in society, to just kind of like have an authentic connection to that and to just make a difference one by one. And even if we think that we're too small or what we're doing is too small to make a difference, so just remember that no matter how small something seems, every ripple moves something and changes something. We can make a difference no matter what we're doing, even if it's just tiny, small little things. It's like that drop of water that drops into a lake or into the ocean. It makes these ripples. And that's exactly what happens when we're doing something in the world that's of value and that's something that's in alignment with what we feel we want to create in this world, Then another thing that we want to mention is the new moon is making a sextile to Chiron in Pisces and Jupiter in Virgo, making a trine to Jupiter in Virgo, which is stationing at the time of the new moon and retrograde. So this is an opportunity for healing and allowing ourselves to be human while being on our path to greater, more meaningful worldly accomplishments. So it's really about finding that balance between, accomplishing something in the outside world, but also making sure that we're healing that we're connecting to our inner process, to our emotional process, to our ability to feel and connect intuitively to the world, and to make sure that we're connecting to that in a healing way. And by connecting the two, we can make a bigger difference in the world, and we can also see the bigger picture more clearly, and we have greater flexibility by doing that. And that is very helpful. So a question you can ask yourself with this aspect is, what if you could be productive in the outside world and gentle with yourself all at the same time? And gentle and really embracing our own humanity is a very important part of being productive in the outside world at this time. Now, given that Saturn is the ruler of Capricorn, we definitely want to talk about Saturn a little bit. Saturn is in alignment with Venus in Sagittarius at the time of the new moon, so this plays definitely an important role. And so this Venus-Saturn alignment is really an opportunity for us to choose how we relate to our higher truth, to how we relate to what we believe about life, or our attitude towards life. And really also by examining and clarifying how our values and commitments and priorities align with that higher truth. And so things you can ask yourself is, what if I choose a relationship that was deeply aligned with who I truly am, not who I think I should be or who I used to be? This is a really important question, I think. And then you can also ask yourself, what could I accomplish coming from my heart first? Because very often we very easily go to the head first and we ignore the heart center. But it's very important to really check in with our heart center, what resonates here first, and then connect to the mind and see how we can align what's going on with our heart in terms of, understanding it and thinking it through and moving in that direction. Now, another question you can ask yourself with this Venus-Saturn alignment is, when have I felt the happiest? And what if I committed 5% more to the things, people, and places in my life that make me happy? And I think these are really, really great questions, because very often we focus on what doesn't make us happy and what's not so great in our lives. And if we can just focus a little bit more on the things that are actually making us happy, that could really turn things around for us. Now, I thought I would also mention the Mercury retrograde with this new moon, since Mercury has been retrograde. And it's right now in 29 degrees of Capricorn at the time of the new moon. And so we want to take a look at when was Mercury in Capricorn before it went retrograde, and to just kind of see what happened during that time frame. So think back to that time frame between December 11th, 2015 and January 1st, 2016, and just see what happened during that time in terms of your long-term goals, in terms of business, in terms of communications. Is there anything that needs to be recommunicated, anything that needs to be rethought, revisited, replanned, restructured, anything that needs to be released that no longer works for you? Take your time with this. The Mercury retrograde is 3 weeks long, and so you really want to think things through during that time. And just remember, it's an inner process. It's an inner maturity process. We're really learning something about ourselves, about our long-term goals, about our thinking processes, about our ability to be responsible and mature. And so when Mercury goes direct again on January 25th, our insights that we've accumulated in these 3 weeks will really inform our plans for the outside world and for our achievements and accomplishments that we want to go after and create in the outside world. So just to sum it all up for this new moon, since this is the beginning of 2016, choose wisely for 2016. We have a chance to blaze the trail for a better future and to participate consciously in the evolution of our own existence and of the existence of our planet, and to continue what we've learned in 2015 in terms of our own inner processes and our own inner healing processes. We can continue all of that in 2016. We need to trust our inner truth, and we need to really step into our inner authority. And then once we have found that place where we can really tune into our inner strength and inner authority, then we need to really use that wisely. So if you've already felt this sense of being an authority in some kind in the outside world, then really use that responsibly, use that wisely, and that's that you are making a difference in the world. You are being an agent of change by really connecting to that within yourself. Now, if you have an ascendant or personal planets in 17 to 21 degrees of Capricorn, Cancer, Libra, or Aries, then you're definitely going to feel this new moon more acutely and strongly than other people. But even if you don't have personal planets in those degrees and signs, the house placement that this new moon falls in your natal chart, in your birth chart, is equally as important because it shows you what area of your life you're looking to develop more of an inner authority and more of an inner strength and more of a commitment to yourself. So if that didn't make sense, what I just mentioned with the signs and degrees, feel free to watch my video on how to read your birth chart. It's a 30-minute video that talks about how to apply my videos and my weekly forecasts to your natal chart, to your birth chart, and also how to get a free birth chart on the internet if you don't have one yet. So if you want to watch that video, please email us at info@astrologercoach.com and just write recording in the subject line, and we'll be happy to email you a link to that recording with some handouts. Also want to talk about the new moon intentions, but before I do, let me just very quickly mention that I'm offering a very special reading for the beginning of the year. It's a New Year's special that's available for the next 55 days only. And it's a look ahead for 2016. So if you want to do a reading, where you can see how to align yourself with the universal energies for 2016, how you can make powerful choices in 2016, this is a great reading for you. And as with all my readings, you will receive a copy of your birth chart as well and a recording of the entire session with after the reading is complete via email, via a link, and then you can download it to any of your devices. Now, again, I'm offering this reading only until the end of February, so if that's something you want to do, act now. Go to my website, AstrologerCoach.com, and click on the link next to New Year's Special, and then you can go and book that reading and schedule a session with me about that. Now, let's talk about setting intentions, though. This is what we've all been waiting for, right? For this moon cycle. So intentions are best done soon after the new moon becomes exact, and definitely not during a moon void, of course. We want to avoid moon void, of course, phases. So this month, the best and most potent time is anytime between 8:31 p.m. East Coast time on January 9th until 12:39 p.m. January 10th. Or after 3:23 p.m. on January 10th until 8:09 p.m. January 11th. Okay, so these are the most potent, beautiful times to set intentions, and all of that is New York time, East Coast time. So if you live in a different time zone, feel free to plug in those times into a time zone converter, which you can find on Google. Or if that's a little bit too complicated for you, then feel free to just join me on my Facebook fan page or my Twitter page, and I will be posting when the most potent times are occurring. I will be posting several times, and then when you see that post, just set your intentions. Just write something down that's in alignment with the Capricorn energy, with this new moon energy, for this year, for 2016, and for these next 28 days in particular. So if you want to have a look ahead, what's coming up for the next week in astrology, feel free to check out my weekly forecasts on AstrologerCoach.com. Or you can also receive my weekly forecast via email. That's available too. You can just email us at info@astrologercoach.com, and we will email you a weekly forecast every Sunday evening. Just write weekly forecasts in the subject line. And if you don't want to receive an email of us every week, you can also sign up for our newsletter, which is only being sent out twice a month. So you can just write newsletter in the subject line if you want that. So whatever works for you, and you can also get both, of course. You can write weekly forecast and newsletter in the subject line, and then you will receive both. We'll take care of you, whatever is perfect for you, okay? Now, if you have any questions about this new moon or general astrology questions, I'm always happy to answer those via email. So feel free to reach out to me at Sonja@astrologercoach.com. That's SONJA@astrologercoach.com. And I'm happy to answer those questions. If you have any personal questions for me that require of me to pull up your birth chart, I will ask you to book a reading with me on my website. And the reason why I'm asking that is so I can honor my time, and I can also make sure that I can fully answer your question and make sure that you get what you need. So it's sort of like a win-win in that regard, right? Now, I have some good news that I want to mention as well, which is that I have decided to offer payment plans on a trial basis throughout January. So for anyone who cannot comfortably pay my fee in one shot, this is a great offer, because that way you can just email me at info@astrologercoach.com and just let me know what reading or service you would like to get. And then I will get back to you and let you know what type of payment plan we can work out with each other. And we'll make sure that it's something that works with your budget and with your needs. Okay, so if you're not sure what kind of service you would like to get or take advantage of, then just go to my website, to astrologercoach.com, and click next to products and services. And you'll get on that page where I list all my services, there is a really great selection of all different types of readings in terms of length, in terms of price, and also in terms of what each reading focuses on. So feel free to check that out and let me know what's a good fit for you right now. All right. And then just for 2016, I want to say, allow 2016 to be an extension of your inner universe. Nurture and tend to this inner universe consciously, with love and compassion throughout the year, because this is definitely what is going to make 2016 great. Just remember that, the outside world is just a reflection of our inside world. So it is important to really focus and nurture that inside world and have a really good relationship with that universe, that inner universe, so that your outer universe is going to be successful and beautiful and wonderful. All right. So have a fantastic 2016. This is Astrologer Coach Sonja Francis. Goodbye.